couldn't. Okay, we couldn't have asked for a better game, in my opinion. After the 5 minute mark of the first half, like the first 5 minutes of the first half, past that, I couldn't ask for anything better. Like we won by 15. We had a very good performance. What else could have we asked for as a North Carolina team fan? Like if you went into both games, if you went this weekend, pretty much, and just told me, told just any North Carolina fan, you'd win both games this week by at least 15 points. We'll take that. We'll take that. I don't have the stats with me at all, but I can tell you from a guy who just watched the entire game, we had a bad start overall. Couldn't get good looks. RJ Davis was a little bit. I mean, RJ Davis was pretty good to start off. We just couldn't get good looks. Elliot Cadeau got to work on his shooting. I think he was great everywhere else. I think a lot of people were scrutinized his shooting a lot. I think whenever in his mind he decides to attack, I think he's way better. I think he just should take 2 steps in and take a free throw, pretty much. Take a jump shot, and if the defender steps out, then you go by. But don't just keep forcing it. Just don't keep taking threes. You're not a good three-point shooter. We've known this. Don't take those. But Hall kept making hook shots. He kept making these fadeaways. And we got down by 14, by like 14-5 to start off with. As much as like 9-10 points. And then we had a timeout. And we were like, you know what? Or I think it was 11 was the biggest deficit. Like, you know what? We're not going to let this happen. Because they just went on a run of their own by that point. We got it to a 4-point game, and then it was an 11-point game. And it was like, now we got to go on a run of our own. And guess what? We clamped up defensively. Amanda Baycott showed up very well. Seth Trimble had some amazing blocks. That was very, very impressive. Just met people at the rim very well. I always forget this guy's name, but number 24 on our team. I always forget this guy's name. Heavily apologize. He made some very good plays in the second half. First half, not great for him, but I've always felt like with this guy, once he makes a very successful hustle play, he will make many more after that. But it might take a while for him to get his first. But he had a very good second half. But Amanda Baycott started doing very good. Harrison Ingram, if he plays like this, we'll probably make it out at least this seed, at least this side, and at least make it to the Elite Eight at bare minimum. He plays very good. I mean, Harrison Ingram, it's not a lot to ask for. Hit your open threes. Because a lot of the times he just made them. Sometimes they're contested and he missed. But sometimes he makes those. But make your open threes. Make your layups. He's a pretty good defender. I'm happy about it. RJ Davis, I don't think he had a good second half, in my opinion, overall. I think when Elliot Cadeau came in the game, it kind of flowed better offensively. Even though RJ Davis was a better shooter, he was not making shots. And I feel like the defensive effort he had was not great in the second half. He might have been tired because he played the majority of the first half. And he played a good amount in the second half, too. But he was still overall not playing great. And I think Elliot Cadeau could have got more time in the game, which I would think we'd like to add. RJ Davis wasn't making a lot of threes at one point and was not making his shots in the second half at one point. He missed in the left-hand layup at one point. That was very bad. He had 2 turnovers, didn't hustle back on defense like either of those. So it's kind of like that. But he ended up finding his rhythm a bit, and he ended up being very good. He had a good first half. So yeah, Cormac Ryan had a slow start, but ended up making his threes. Had one to start the second half, which is very good. Showed a resilience, which was very nice to see. Something I scrutinized. We got down by a lot to start off this game, but ended up bouncing back very well. Had a 9-point lead at the second half. Had an 11-point lead. Had a 9-point lead to start the second half. Had an 11-point lead early in the second half. But then Michigan State goes on a run, cuts it down to 3 or 2 points. Then RJ Davis and Armando Baycott just start going to work. Harrison Ingram hit some shots. We had some wide open ones. So, yeah, it was very good to see those. Washington played a very, very good game, number 13 on their team. Very good stuff, good rebounding. That one layup RJ Davis missed, and he put back and threw it in, dunked it in. I think that was the main moment. It's like, you know what? We're going to win this game. We're going to win this game. We're going to be good. We're going to be on to the next round. Gave us a good comfort, the idea that we have another guy on our bench that will play very good defensively in the paint, because Baycott's our main guy, and Michigan State's a very physical team, and probably will end up playing Alabama. Bama can run on you. Bama's going to score a lot. So we're going to have guys that can back up Baycott that will be able to stay there, because they're going to run a lot and they're going to tire Baycott out overall. That's probably the main strategy. Because I get in Baycott can run the floor very well, but Michigan State's not one of those teams that's going to just run the floor in the entire time. And they're more of a half-court set offense. Maybe guards can hurry up, but we're going to work you in the paint and then work out from there. which will tire you out in more of a physical way, but not in a stamina way. You know what I mean? Like, you might get sore, but you can play through it. Stamina, I think, is more important than just being sore. Like, someone can wear you down, but if you have stamina to keep doing it, you can power through. But whenever you have to make you run the entire time up and down the court, you lose that strength with it, so you get both loss. You lose your strength and your stamina. That's not what you want. So we got to be able to have guys that can avoid that. And Washington, if he plays that same way again, because Bama's not going to have as much physicality, in my opinion, as Michigan State. But again, Grand Canyon could win. For all I know, Grand Canyon could win. I mean, we have to play them. I don't know. But that could happen. So yeah, Grand Canyon can make their threes. They're a pretty good team. I saw they did the St. Mary's, and if they could beat Bama, that'd be very tough. But yeah, Cormac Ryan overall good. If we play this game, if we play this is the thing for us. We can't have bad starts. We cannot have these slow starts and expect just every team for us to come back on. But it does show that we can beat these type of teams whenever we do have slow starts. I'm talking about what's a good example? Purdue, Houston. I'm not even Houston. The UConns, like the really, really, really top teams, I would say, that will take advantage of you not scoring. North Carolina's going to end up scoring at one point. We're going to end up scoring points. We're going to find a rhythm. But will they add a bunch of points to that while you can't? Iowa State couldn't make a shot start today. They still won, though. Houston, sometimes, I remember they held like TCU to 0 points for the first 6 minutes, only a 10-point lead. You got to have more of that against North Carolina because they went on a 20-1 run in this game, which was great to watch. By the way, also, Tennessee's playing right now. Hopefully they beat Texas because I have Tennessee making it to the final. So, yeah. Hopefully that happens, but we'll see. We'll see. Everyone's bracket's busted at this point. So a lot of people's brackets were actually none of them were correct, which is kind of funny. But I'm very happy with our team performance today. Armando Bacot drew a lot of fouls. So if we play like this again, I feel very confident in us. Just fix up your slow starts. Don't let teams go on runs to start off second halves. The first 5 minutes of both halves. I'd say, yeah, first 5-6 minutes of both halves. First half, second half. Keep it tied, and then the rest of it we will just explode on. Elliot Cadeau, you gotta be able to make your open shots. But everything else you do is perfectly fine. Good passing. Michigan State did beat themselves up. They had a lot of bad turnovers. At times they just stepped out of bounds. Sometimes they just knocked the ball off your own hand. I think Withers is the guy's last name. Withers, number 24. Shout out to him because he made a lot of very good stuff happen. Shout out to you. And yeah, overall great team performance. Liked how we played. Good adjustments by Hubert Davis. Got the team motivated. Good performance. We're on to the Sweet 16. On to the next weekend, which is great. And yeah, something we couldn't say last week because we weren't in it last year. Something we couldn't say last year because we weren't in it last year. So yeah, should be good. We can sit back and relax and watch all these games and see who we're going to play next week. So yeah, hope you have a great day. Stay safe, y'all. Go Tar Heels, and God bless y'all.